What is up, ladies and not ladies? It is I, Kilo, from the Miltech community, and I've come to all of you today with a special segment I am eager to start. So, quick history lesson. This was me at the prime of my time, right after boot camp. I was healthy, fit, active, and a $155. Not 2 years later, however, this is me now. Gross, I know, but to sum it up, bad diet and service-related injuries, it all kind of inhibited my working out and resulted in me gaining 45 pounds in 2 years. It especially sucks because I'm still suffering from back injuries, so I can't work out as much as I used to. So let's go through the bulletin checklist of what I'm doing. So I'm trying out a new diet called Keto, hence the name of this video. Here's the definition of keto on Wikipedia. The ketogenic diet is a high-fat, adequate protein, low-carbohydrate diet that in medicine is used primarily to treat difficult-to-control refractory epilepsy in children. The diet forces the body to burn fats rather than carbohydrates. Normally, the carbohydrates contained in food are converted into glucose, which is then transported around the body and is particularly important in fueling brain function. However, if little carbohydrate remains in the diet, the liver converts fat into fatty acids and ketone bodies. I think that's how it's pronounced. The ketone bodies pass into the brain and replace glucose as an energy source. An elevated level of ketone bodies in the blood, a state known as ketosis, leads to a reduction in the frequency of epileptic seizures. Around half of the children and young people with epilepsy who have tried some forms of this diet saw the number of seizures drop by at least half, and the effect persists even after discontinuing the diet. Some evidence indicates that adults with epilepsy may benefit from the diet, and that a less strict regimen, such as modified Atkins diet, is similarly effective. Potential side effects may include constipation, high cholesterol, growth slowing, acidosis, and kidney stones, whatever. So basically, I'm going on this diet because I love carbs a little too much. Now, let me clarify. Carbohydrates are not a bad thing. They are the macronutrient that gives us our immediate energy for the day, while fat is your more long-term energy storage. It's like, it's that stored energy, and it's your reserves. One of the effects of cutting carbs isn't just lower glucose counts and epilepsy and kidney stones and all that crap, but it forces your body to dig into the fat deposits for energy. That's that ketosis that it was talking about. This helps burn fat much faster, especially if you're active. For those who might be wondering what I eat, my daily plan usually consists of egg and cheese omelets or just a fruit bowl if I'm lazy for breakfast. I stay away from cereal because of the carbohydrate count. I usually have about 2 glasses of water every morning instead of coffee. I don't remember where, but I read something saying that 2 glasses of water has the same effect as 1 cup of coffee, and it helps kickstart your digestive and immune system when you wake up. I have no idea whether that's a fact or not. All I know is that I don't like spending money on coffee, and I think it tastes gross anyways. Now, okay, I skip lunch. Now, it's not part of the diet, but I just do it because of how my schedule works out. Most days, I have classes that cover that entire block of my day, so by the time I can eat lunch, it's either too early after breakfast or too close to dinner. For dinner, I have chicken, salad, a fruit bowl, or pieces of fruit of different variety, and broccoli and cauliflower on the side. Sometimes I trade out the chicken for pork or tri-tip, and sometimes I trade out the cauliflower for eggplant. There's a bunch of things you can do. The biggest items I have cut out of my diet is carrots, potatoes, anything bread, rice, carbonated drinks, and condiments. Now, if you're going to stay away from anything, carbonated drinks, bread, and potatoes, I think are the best things you can avoid, just because of how often we consume it on a day-to-day basis without even realizing it. Now, I know there's some of you keto or dietary masters out there who are probably screeching at me for my lack of knowledge on the subject, but please know I'm still new to this. I will learn. Up next on the agenda is something I think a vast majority of people suffer from, and it's actually probably one of the highlights of the video. Now, don't get me wrong. I love staying up late online with the boys playing some video gamings or tabletop games. But this is something I have seriously needed to turn around for a long time in my life, and I wish I had done it sooner. When you don't get enough sleep, your body overproduces the hunger, causing hormones leptin and ghrelin. I think that's how that's pronounced. You could be more susceptible to overeating, while at the same time being less satisfied afterwards. People who oh my god, I'm having a stroke over here. People who consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep also show glucose and insulin levels and characteristics similar to diabetics. Even if they are otherwise very healthy, your fat cells lose their ability to properly use insulin. As your body becomes more resistant to insulin, it will produce more and more in order to function. This leads to fat buildup and could eventually lead to disease like diabetes. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't know about you all, but I know plenty of people who are diabetic, and I would not want to be in their shoes. Hats off to them for fighting on, because some of them, for some of them, it isn't even their fault. You know, they were born with it, or, you know, something like this happens where, you know, they were eating healthy, working out, but then they didn't sleep, and, you know, something like this happened. I know it isn't terribly likely for me to become diabetic from not sleeping enough, you know, but why risk it for the biscuit? You know, it's not worth the risk. Now, I've been forcing myself to go to bed at around 9 or 10 in the evening so that I get up around 5, 6, or 7 the next morning. Now, I know that those hours don't sound terribly early for, like, you know, a high school student or someone who works regularly 40 hours a week or whatever, but to a college student, it is unheard of for many of us to get up that early. But if I'm being completely honest with you, it feels pretty good. I feel like I get more out of my day, I don't miss any hours of sunlight, and overall I accomplish more as well. I usually make the exception and sleep in an extra few hours on weekends because, of course, I'm going to stay up late on Friday or Saturday night playing D&D or Cyberpunk 2020 until 4 a.m. with the boys. Just to point out, that is only on an occasion. It's like a once-a-month basis. I don't do it that often because it's hard to get people together for something like that. But anyways, continuing on. Time for the third and final corner of this triangle. Cardio, core, arms, back, all that spicy shit. For me, because I am injured, I go swimming. On long walks, I go for short runs. I ride a bike, and I utilize an elliptical machine to try and not demolish myself any further. Now, for those of you who don't know what an elliptical machine is, it's like that weird walkie thing where, like, it's like a bike except you don't sit on anything and you just kind of pedal. It's like a running simulator 2019. Now, some of you might be thinking, why not wait until you're healed? Well, I've waited a little bit over 6 months and it didn't heal, and I gained 40 pounds, so waiting is no longer an option for me. I usually work out for a total of an hour and a half to 2 hours, 3 times a week. The certain days vary. One of the most important elements here is my stretching. I stretch about 30 minutes a day before working out and 30 minutes after, just so my body doesn't tense up and I lose flexibility. To any and all athletes, recreational and professional, stretching is important. Do not skip it. This is the final point attached to my diet because no matter how well I eat, it doesn't do me any good if I don't burn that energy. Working out to me is one of the most essential parts here for me to lose weight. You'll hear it all the time. You see the jokes about New Year's Eve or the day after New Year's. People go into the gym, you know, they'll be there for a week and then they'll stop showing up. Yes, that is a part of it. But sleep and diet is they're big contributors to the cause of losing weight. The reason for me making this video is I feel bad for not posting as often, and I hope this short series will boost my regularity in posting, maybe make a habit out of it. Maybe it'll encourage me to post more videos in general, who knows. But I felt the need to make this video because I've been on this plan for 2 weeks now, and I've lost something of 10 to 15 pounds already. Now I'm about 30-ish pounds to getting back to this. So, you know, that's my overall goal, is to get back to that $155, to get back to being fit. I miss my abs, I miss my V-line, I miss having a toned jawline, you know, all those great things. For any nutritionists or keto dietitians out there, I will gladly take any feedback for this. I have only been in this gig for several weeks, as I just stated, and I plan on going long term with it. If you have made it this far into the video Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.